Alrighty, everyone. Welcome back for another exciting video here. This video is going to be SoFi dominated once again. I did not intend this YouTube channel to really be SoFi like dominant, but it is the hot talk of the market right now, and it's causing a lot of drama and also irritating me. The reason why SoFi is irritating me is because I go on social media and I see people running around with their heads chopped off because SoFi does something or SoFi goes down by like nearly 10% in one day. And then it causes a lot of headache for me because I have to read a bunch of nonsense. Happy Wednesday. So SoFi as a company is actually not doing anything that's irritating me personally. It's the people that buy in, the people that forget the reason they invested into this company. And when you go ahead and lose that memory, you basically walk around with amnesia, essentially. You totally forget the reason why you bought into a company. You totally forget what the management team is doing. You totally forget every great thing that this company has done over the last 2 years, despite the haters, despite the doubters. I was buying the stock all throughout 2024, and I have a massive position. And guess what, mofos? Yesterday, I bought more. Oh, yes. I bought more SoFi. Ended up buying SoFi here on my public account, my Bung profile. If you are new here, welcome. I actually did pick up a handful of new subscribers, especially from my previous video yesterday. I did not mean to make like it, but it is what it is. SoFi is my largest position. I'm looking to hold this for the next decade. And I mean, there's just a lot of stupid games right now that is happening, especially with, one, manipulation, two, a bunch of pussies, which we'll talk about here momentarily. And it really is just annoying for people like myself and other long-term investors, because I mean, on this profile here, pretty much SoFi is, I'm not entirely sure if I can actually reorder them structured and stuff, but it's kind of ironic how SoFi is up top as my largest or number one here. But I mean, SoFi is my long-term investment on here that I feel comfortable buying shares for, and holding for the next decade, as long as the management team has the same vision. If something fundamentally happens with the company, then my strategy changes. People forget about that, especially with long-term investing. AMD is a 3 to 5 year hold, maybe a little bit longer, depending what they do with their future chips and sales. Meta, it's really up in the air, but I mean, there's going to be a lot of money funneling on in with midterms. Palantir, it's all about the growth rate. Hood, I can feel very comfortable holding this for as long as Bitcoin. Well, let me just say this: if Bitcoin goes through a Bitcoin recession and Robinhood falls off a cliff, I could actually see myself like massively buying that entire recessionary period of Bitcoin. But if Bitcoin goes upward, Robinhood's just going to be fine. I'd actually like to increase my Robinhood position. Adobe is 6 to 12 months. Honest is really a flip, 6 to 12 months. And PayPal, honestly, it really depends what they're going to be doing this year. I could be holding PayPal maybe for a year, maybe less. But SoFi overall is the main premise. And on my private profile, where are you? Hello, private profile, where are you? It's kind of ironic because my main profile is actually, my Robinhood. It's, back in 2024, I actually made the decision to go in on SoFi instead of Hood. I would be up more if I had made the decision to actually start buying, Hood, but I chose not to. SoFi on my private profile is my largest position. And yeah, I mean, it's like 3-4 months ago, I was up by over 300%. It is what it is. The whole reason I started buying SoFi is because so many people said that this company was going to fail, and this company was a dead company and not going anywhere, but they were triple beating all throughout 2024. I don't think people understand how powerful a triple beat is, especially when you beat on earnings per share, especially when you beat on rev, especially when you beat on future guidance. Here's a prime example. Adobe, okay? One of the reasons why that I got into Adobe here is because, well, they've been triple beating, and we have record-breaking AI sales and AI, Black Friday, Cyber Monday was record-breaking AI just year over year. I use Adobe products practically every single day, and I mean, the stock used to trade at $650. Like, give me a break here. So, I have a lot of skin in the game, especially for SoFi. But there is a lot of drama. It's among pretty much everywhere, and it's not going to change anytime soon. So this video is probably going to be SoFi dominant. I do want to make I definitely do want to go over Coinbase. I just really haven't had the time. Yesterday I was really busy in the second half of the day. I did manage to get a nice little low fade haircut here. Oh yeah, nice and little snazzy. Okay, so like I said, if you are new here, rambled on a little bit. I try to put out videos Monday through Friday, plus doing a account challenge publicly over the next year-ish. So definitely stay tuned for that. Monday through Saturday, new videos. If I said something different, I need more coffee. Definitely need more morning coffee and need to focus now on the market. So what do we see right here? Well, this is SPY, what we have pulled up. SPY has broken through all-time highs. Yeah, that's right. Yesterday, SPY broke through all-time highs. Did anyone notice? Did anybody care in the SoFi community? No. Do you know what was happening in the SoFi community? Retail was selling shares. Retail was scared shitless because of pretty much some stuff that came out. Where are we at right now? Okay, so I just want to go over this relatively quickly because it does matter. I'm on Market Watch. We have a lot of data coming out over the next several weeks, which is going to impact the rate cut decision for at the end of January. Morning water cheers. Got to stay hydrated. Little humid today. So, with that notion, we got ADP employment. We got ISM services, job openings, U.S. factory orders. A lot of negative data. Fed chair. Obviously, Tuesday, in the morning, this was pretty much bullish, but this Fed chair governor already has been known to be bullish as well. But just basically pretty much reiterating, like, hey, the Fed is basically pretty much like divided, essentially, which causes a lot of fears among people. The big one is going to be tomorrow, which I'll go over initial jobless claims. Unemployment rate, this is going to be really big. Although this did change a little bit. And I honestly thought that I saw this actually as 4.7 a couple days ago. I think it got revised between the medium forecasts. This is going to be really big information for the Federal Reserve, especially the following week, next week, for CPI, PCE, PPI as well. So all this stuff is going to matter, like, drastically. Another thing to really look at is this AI sentiment here, where you basically see that we ended on a 42% to 20%, 42% bullish. Obviously, back during Liberation Day this year, when myself, among of many other traders and investors, went all in because you buy the fear. You're going to notice that I'm going to say that a lot in these videos because the 7 and 8 figure traders, investors that taught me every single thing that I know, I ended up going through a day trading, a swing trading, investing pretty much all in one back in 2023. Long story short, I got into the market during COVID times, 2020, April. Ironically, Liberation Day anniversary of when I got into the market, but I made life-changing money throughout 2020, 21, a little bit over 100K to multiple hundreds of thousands. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. 2022 was a gut check. I was still profitable in 2022, but not as much. 2023, I was not profitable. I took a loss for that year, because I dabbled a lot in penny stocks. 24 in the green, and 25 I finished very, very much in the green last year. This year, looking to do so again. But my philosophy is very simple. If you are a long-term shareholder in a company, you buy the fear and you hold on to discounted shares. Keep the number simple. Liberation Day, let's say hypothetically your long-term investment was $20. It crashed all the way down to $10. You're holding that stock for 10 years. Well, you just got a bunch of discounted shares, right? You buy the fear. Now, if you are a trader, which I do trade, you buy stocks that are beaten down. Prime example, Liberation Day. I was buying Nvidia below $100, AMD shares, which I'm still holding, in the 80s, in the 90s, in the hundreds. I was buying Palantir in the 80s, and then you sell when you get to your price target. And I sold Nvidia, sold Palantir, a few other stocks that I was also swinging as well, and I made a lot of money. You buy the fear, you buy the dip, you buy the blood, you sell the rip. It's a very basic thing, but the AI sentiment that I'm showing right now, the overall market just seems bullish. So what is happening to SoFi? Well, a couple things. So SoFi did drop an 8K yesterday, which did shake up the overall market. And this 8K you can find by literally going to their website. I'm on the SEC's website right now. It basically pretty much appears that the company has once again did some dilution. Okay. Obviously not a massive amount, like a $1.5 billion amount here previously. But the company is diluting a little bit, and it's leaving a lot of people really wondering, okay, you diluted us back after earnings several months ago. Then you diluted us again not too long ago. Now this dilution really ties in with December 8th's dilution. A lot of people are really a little like confused about this, and I'm like, 8Ks are, in my opinion, 8Ks are actually not too bad to go through. If you get other types of filings that may be a little bit, the easiest way to really think about an 8K is like it's a amendment, essentially. Like, hey, we just did something we just want everyone to be aware of. Like it's like a news bulletin, but it does confuse a lot of people, and if it does confuse people, it makes people nervous, and they're gone. And it's really annoying because you hear a lot of nonsense on social media, because what ends up happening is that people that are on the edge of forgetting why they bought into something and they invested, they get shooken out of their investment. Has it happened to me before? Yeah. It actually happened a lot during 2023. I was getting very much into all these types of filings, and I was getting scared left and right. And yeah, I mean, I was being dumb retail at that time, because I was looking at something like this. I'm like, oh my gosh. Take a step back and ask yourself, has anything fundamentally changed of why you bought in? I bought in because this company triple beats. I bought in because the management team has stated 2026, 27 is going to be your big epic years, and I'm loading the friggin' boat. So it's basically pretty much plain and simple here. I feel comfortable adding SoFi on this public account here. On my private account, I got plenty of SoFi shares, as you just saw. I'm done buying. But on this profile, I mean, send SoFi down to 25 bucks. I'll buy some more. Send it down to 22, 18 bucks. Big support level. Could break. Who knows? I mean, oh man, it just, the company is putting up insane growth rates and they are performing. Now, the big question about this is, what the hell are they doing with all this capital? Very different than penny stock companies. Penny stock companies typically have no income, no profitability. They raise capital to become profitable. SoFi's raising capital and they're already profitable. What are they doing? Well, AMD, they did 2 acquisitions in the last couple years now to grow their companies. Is SoFi going to be announcing an acquisition? Is SoFi doing some type of buying of maybe a crypto-related item? So ask yourself, okay, you got to ask yourself all of these questions here because they matter more than you can imagine. Now, I want you to pay attention on here, the SPY. Look at the SPY. We're at all-time highs, just like on the Qs. Actually, the Qs are a little bit, we got some room to go, but the Qs are above the 50-day moving average, very bullish. IWM, obviously, the IWM is rocking. So the IWM is a Russell 2000. So think of it this way. The IWM is rocking, rolling. You have SPY at all-time highs. You got the Qs almost there, the NASDAQ top 100 companies. But you have SoFi lagging. You have NVIDIA holding. You have Tesla in this weird position. You have Bitcoin pretty much rallying a little bit. Obviously, Bitcoin is pulling back, but we did rally on a technical basis. We did reclaim this 50-day moving average, which is going to be very important. I actually said in yesterday's video we could go back down to the 50, and then boom, we could move higher to the 100-day. That's really ideal, in all honesty. You have the chip stocks not really going to like all-time highs in this weird stagnated place. What is going on? But you have the overall market at like near all-time highs. What does that tell you? Well, it tells you that the overall market is no longer being propped up by a bunch of 7, 6, maybe 8 companies. All throughout 2023, the reason the market went up is because of the Mag 7. I got murdered in 2023 because I chose to bet on small cap companies that ended up just taking massive losses and hits. I should have done the opposite. In 2023, I should have gone with the momentum and gone with the big stocks. Now, ironically, the penny stock market is actually rock and rolling. So what does this tell me? Well, it tells me and by the way, I'm not a financial advisor. Long story short of who I am here. I'm 37, military background, straight out of high school in 2007, joined the United States Marine Corps, retired at a little bit over 15 years, went out the medical route, a bunch of gym injuries. Definitely not fun. I'm not as much as a extreme athlete as I used to be, but I'm still an athlete, still am very much in good shape. I'm a big advocator of training your body because you got to be physically fit to be mentally fit and to also be dealing with this bullshit in the market here. So you got to take care of your body, long story short, but never in my life did I actually think I'd actually be talking about this stuff. I honestly was looking to maybe be law enforcement. I was infantry. Spent nearly a decade in the infantry. Afghan vet. I would love to say proud Afghan vet, but to be honest, I'm really not. Our politicians utterly fucked that war up, and it's very sad. It's very, very sad in general. I try not to bring politics into these videos, but I mean, it's very hard not to. Especially when you're dealing with evil forces. Let me just say that, because, yeah, evil forces definitely want us to stay in endless wars, which are terrible. But please, by all means, please take care of your health. Like I said, big advocator of eating healthy and also exercising as well. What this tells me, looking at the market being at all-time highs, and we have the top of the market being stagnated, this tells me that the other side of the market, the smaller market, is pushing the market forward. So once the big stocks start moving, like the chips, once the big caps start moving, the market's going to parabolical levels. Just it's very obvious, in my opinion, when you have the little stocks going up and pushing the market up, because that is what is propping up the SPY. It's not these big stocks anymore. They're remaining stagnated. It tells you that as soon as the big dogs get their heads out of their bum holes, which is probably going to be after earnings, to be perfectly honest, and once the Federal Reserve meets this month and Powell gives guidance, this market is going up. Now, is it going to last all throughout 2026? I don't know. But I can tell you that this market for this year, there is a really good chance that we see another positive year. Is it going to be a 4 consecutive year of double-digit returns in the SPY? I honestly don't know. To be honest, I really think we're probably going to get single-digit returns, maybe on the upper side. Maybe we'll get anywhere between 7 to 9% returns on the market, which is still a win-win chicken dinner. Can SoFi still double up from here if everything goes accordingly? Absolutely. Just because the market only goes up 7 to 9%, it doesn't mean that your profile is going to go up 7 to 9%. You can be, your mission and objective is to beat the SPY. So, I mean, hey, if SoFi ends up doubling up, I can tell you that on the year, along with AMD, Palantir, Hood, Meta, Adobe, Honest, PayPal, and maybe if I do get into another stock here, maybe next month, yeah, I mean, this profile can easily, definitely beyond beat the market returns here. So the way that I'm really viewing this is, one, ignore the noise with SoFi. Oh, I forgot. This is just bullshit. Hold on one second. Hold on. I got to pull this up. Bank of America just released a SoFi rating. SoFi rating that came out yesterday. Bank of America, their competitor. Hold on one second. Bank of America. Bank of America is a bank. Let's just say it. Bank of America. Yeah, they are not a Bank of America. I don't use Bank of America. I've never used Bank of America. In my opinion, they're not America first. It's, to be honest, they're probably America last. I am a patriot. And I'm a firm believer in being whatever country you're from. You should be a patriot. You should love your country. I actually had the luxury of being stationed overseas for 2 years. And I was living in Stuttgart, Germany, on active duty with the Marine Corps. I mean, hey, I went out. I had a lot of German friends, and I was very much into the partying scene still, a lot of drinking still. Early 30s. I can tell you that those people love their country. But I can tell you that Bank of America is definitely not, it's not anything special. They are a competitor to SoFi because SoFi is a disruptor in the market. And SoFi is doing something that Bank of America is not doing. Bank of America is not a fintech. Okay, SoFi is a fintech. Wall Street has not given SoFi a fintech rating just yet. They will. Don't worry. It's going to be cool in beans, especially when you are invested into this company like me. So they gave SoFi a target of $20.50. This video obviously is longer than I intended it to be. I apologize. Let me go ahead and break this down on a technical analysis basis. Yes, I do use technical analysis because you need to know technical analysis to get discounted shares. So we have a big level of support right here at 24. We broke it, but it's roughly around this area. This area is really big, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Obviously, we didn't touch 24 down here back in 17 December, but we came close. Obviously, we are up in this area here currently, but we could very well trend down, who knows, or maybe we just friggin' continue to rally into earnings. But you want us to go down to you want us to go below the 200-day moving average. Now, there's a lot of consolidation here back in July of this summer, August, and then we basically propelled higher. Ironically, we rallied into pretty much earnings. But then again, during the summer, a lot of stocks were also going up as well, too. The 200-day moving average is above their price target. So you're talking like 20, like how do you even get that? Okay, these analysts are just beyond useless, and they're paid for it. They are bought and paid for, just like politicians. There's a big level of support, especially at $18, because we had to break. So we had to break back in January of 25. We had to get out of this range that we were in, all the way back to when they IPO'd in 2021. And then, of course, we had to get above $24, which is a big double top over here. Boom, down, boom, and then we just fell down for many years. And obviously, we broke out all-time highs of 28, 27, but we're actually trading below our previous all-time high on IPO day. So understand that Bank of America, you want to go ahead and downgrade this stock and scare people out of their shares. Give me your shares. I mean, if you're scared to believe it or not, a lot of people don't actually know this, but when people sell shares and I buy shares, I'm essentially buying someone else's like sold shares. Okay? So yesterday, or rather last night when I was laying in bed, and I wanted to go, I actually slept in today a little bit. Normally I'm up at like 5:30, 6 a.m. And I'm like, I'm going to sleep in a little bit today, probably until like 7. I ended up buying some shares. Webull, the only good thing about it is that you can actually buy shares like in the overnight market. And I'm laying in bed thinking, I'm like, so many people ended up selling their shares like crazy because of this stupid rating. I'm going to go ahead and pick some up. So if you are a longtime shareholder of SoFi, you got to ignore the noise here. Hopefully this video brought you motivation. Please do your due diligence and understand I'm not an FA at all. I have no intention to being an FA, but I will share my ideas and what is thinking in my brain. Like this video if you find value in it, and subscribe for future content. I will see you all tomorrow for a brand new video. Oh boy. Let's, well, I don't want to say let's hope for great things, because I would still love some discounted shares. Let me just say that. All right, later everyone.